It's different, but it's very pretty out here. I believe they're setting up the flag now.
What's up, everyone? XRP bags back in the building. How's everyone doing? XRP, the best digital asset, the fastest, most secure, most scalable, most cost efficient, eco-friendly. Send money anywhere in the world instantly. Hope everyone's doing good, doing well. 14 common misunderstandings about Ripple and XRP. This is an old article, but I thought this would be good just to go over. XRP is not needed. Ripple offers two main products for cross-border payments, Xcurrent and Xrapid, the longest available products, and also the most adopted product is Xcurrent. Xcurrent is a global real-time cross-settlement system that enables participants to message, clear, and settle transactions, and the speed of the settlement is disrupting the existing solutions on the market, such as Swift, which payments settle in a few days on average. The disruption and the praises from customers is often interpreted to be enough when settled can happen in seconds. Without XRP, why would it be used at all? Because it's cheaper and faster to settle payments with XRP than fiat to fiat exchange pairs, up to 40 to 70% savings using XRP. If two banks have made Nostro/Vostro arrangements, Xcurrent can change balances on both ends in seconds, and since Xcurrent is built on top of the Interledger protocol, they can exchange FX rates in real time. According to Ripple, it is expensive and unsustainable for most organizations to maintain Nostro accounts. According to a 2016 McKinsey Global Payments report, there is approximately $5 trillion sitting dormant in these red Nostro accounts around the world, tying up capital that could be used in more productive ways. They also must be actively managed to ensure balances are commensurate with transaction volumes. The cost and complexity of holding these accounts around the world is one reason why and only a handful of banks can process global transactions. The burden of maintaining Nostro accounts worldwide is simply unsustainable for most organizations. Small to mid-sized bank payment providers instead pay a fee to use the international transaction system of their large brethren. Therefore, when stuff starts hitting the fan, everyone's going to be running on Ripple. Xrapid is made to eliminate the need for these accounts. Instead, it sources liquidity from the market, buying XRP for fiat at one end of the payment, only to sell it for fiat at the other end. This technology opens up several new opportunities, further savings on payments, allowing for other, even small, international payments with minimal fees, sending funds in otherwise illiquid or very expensive corridors, aka exotic corridors, opening the market for new businesses, eliminating the need to establish Vostro accounts, and complete with established player from day one. Furthermore, Ripple's products are not a one or other type solution, as Xrapid can be used with both the standard access product X via and the full access product Xcurrent. Both access levels have the ability to settle transactions instantly through XRP, a digital asset used in Ripple's Xrapid products, eliminate pre-funding in foreign accounts, and send money 24/7 using XRP. Number 2, XRP is volatile. Banks won't hold it. XRP is volatile as all other cryptocurrencies. Fiat is volatile too over longer time periods. In Nostro-Vostro relationships, banks are exposed to exchange rate fluctuations over a long period, and in some currencies, the risk is too high for banks to even enter. There is no need for banks to hold XRP, as Xrapid does not work by holding XRP, but by buying and selling in a short period of time as possible, and average Xrapid payments take minutes. So the window of volatility is minimal. The short window is made possible by the speed of XRP can settle on the XRP ledger that is currently scaling about 1,500 transactions per second, closing a new ledger every 4 seconds. The only reason for banks to hold XRP would be to participate as the exchange service between XRP and fiat. This would involve hedging the volatility of XRP. This scenario is not much different from Nostro's, where they have to manage volatility for fiat currencies using derivatives. Number 3, stablecoins are a better fit for cross-border payments. Most often tokens issued on the Ethereum blockchain or payments typically settled in 10 to 15 minutes or longer, depending on the number of confirmations required and the network activity. This extends the volatility window, but since stablecoins are less volatile than XRP, they are pegged to fiat currencies. This is not the major issue. In fact, in some quarters where the market's liquidity is better than XRP and fiat pairs, it might be a better option than XRP. XRP, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others, is not issued by anyone and is not representing any value other than its own. When moving these around, value is moved around. When a stablecoin is moved, value is not moved, only the promise of the value. The issue then comes down to a question of trust. Any pegged currency always as volatile as the currency is pegged to, issued by a party as an IOU for real fiat. Before Bitcoin to use digital money, we need a trusted third party to keep a ledger of who owns how much. Examples of this trusted third party are MasterCard, Visa, your bank, your MNO if you use mobile money. So if Alice sends Bob 100, this trusted third party would debit Alice's account and credit Bob's account. They would update their ledger and we would have no trust. We would have to trust this trusted third party to do the right thing and be a good steward of our money. One of the greatest achievements of blockchain compared to fiat is a move from a system based on trust to a trustless environment. If the issuer of a stablecoin is hacked, goes bankrupt, dishonest, or is a government sanctioned in some way, the promised value of stablecoin is changed and can leave it worthless. These fears are met by auditing and increased transparency, but it is not eliminating trust, only pushing it around. Still, IOUs serve a great purpose as they provide some of the benefits of blockchain to fiat, such as movability and trading other cryptocurrencies. Even the XRP ledger, built-in decentralized exchange, is based on IOUs, but to trade an IOU, a trust line has to establish the remaining trader. Do you trust the issuer of this IOU? There is no need for XRP when central banks issue digital currencies. Number 4, a central bank digital currency is also a stablecoin, but instead of trusting a third party, the trust is placed with the same issuer as fiat is pegged to. Whether any stablecoin is a good alternative to XRP for settlement depends on the same parameters as fiat. Is the quarter liquid, or in other words, are the markets makers and takers enough on ends of the transaction? CBDCs will essentially be the same financial model of the current system. It is merely a digital equivalent of a paper financial instrument, and the issues highlighted and misunderstanding will be present. XRP. Number 5, XRP is not a real cryptocurrency. To even debate whether or not XRP is a real currency, we have to establish the definition first. A digital currency in which encryption techniques are used to regulate the generation of units of currency and verify the transfers of funds, operating independently of central banks. Any form of currency exists digitally that usually has no central issuing or regulating authority, but instead uses a decentralized system to record transactions and manage the issuance of new units, and that relies on a cryptography to prevent counterfeiting and fraudulent transactions. A cryptocurrency is a digital asset designed to work as a medium of exchange that uses strong cryptography to secure financial transactions, control the creation of additional units, and verify the transfer of assets. Cryptocurrencies use decentralized, controlled, as opposed to centralized digital currencies and central banking systems. We can summarize the definition in these encryption techniques to verify transactions, the centralized system, no central issuing or regulating authority. All of these apply to XRP. The root of this common misconception is probability that where other blockchains use proof of work, proof of stake through mining to verify transactions and ensure decentralization of the network by rewards of unblocking new blocks. The XRP is using a consensus mechanism and there are no rewards for the participants. Instead, the fee is burned when you use XRP. A small portion of it is burned away, making XRP more valuable as we continue to move into the internet of value, and XRP and Ripple leading the way. Number 6, XRP ledger is not decentralized. POS relies on calculating hashes to verify transactions and unlocking rewards. The more participants there is on these blockchains, collectively ensuring enough hash power to keep transaction times down, the more electricity is also used. The rewards serve a purpose to attract participants, aka miners, and thereby incentivize decentralization. In theory, decentralization serves at least two major purposes. POS blockchains are vulnerable by nature, and if one party collectively owns more than 51% of the hash power, it is possible to replay transactions and hence spend the same amount twice. This phenomenon is often referred as double spending and 51% attacks. And Brad Garlinghouse has come out and said that Bitcoin is prone to this attack, or China has 51% and can do this. Governance: the blockchains are supposed to be open networks with no central authority that can interfere with the network. Example, rejecting transactions. The XRP ledger does not rely on POW or POS, but consensus, and this makes it immune to double spending. So decentralization serves for the purpose of eliminating governance only. Furthermore, it has the benefit of using far less electricity. A POW/POS is built to be competitive, as all participants want to get the rewards. A consensus network participant competition is non-existent, and the incentive to participate is a reliable system. Number 7, the consensus mechanism makes forks easily possible. XRP Ledger works as a peer-to-peer network of participating nodes. Each node trusts a number of validators, which it defines for itself, but the consistency of the network depends on different servers choosing lists that have a high degree of overlap. The first part of consensus is agreeing which transaction it's to include in the upcoming ledger. The second part of the consensus is validation. Each validator validates the transactions independently, resulting in an identifying hash of the ledger. This hash is used to compare the results amongst the validators, and if consensus is met, the winning version of the ledger is used. Disagreeing validators either computes a new correct ledger or retrieves it as it's needed. So, an XRPL ledger using Cobalt will likely be significantly faster than the XRP ledger currently is. This wouldn't significantly affect the number of transactions per second the ledger can handle, because that isn't limited by the consensus algorithm, but it could permit transactions to confirm in less than 2 seconds rather than current confirmation time of less than 7 seconds. David Schwartz on a new consensus algorithm being developed, which amongst other benefits would lower lowers the overlap requirements to around 60%. Number 8, XRP has a lot of hidden fees that is returned to Ripple. Using the XRP ledger has a cost fee, and in most cases you decide for yourself how big the cost is above the minimum fee, which is 0.00001 XRP. The size of the fee determines how the transaction is being prioritized by validators. So a higher fee than the minimum will guarantee a faster transaction. Unlike other blockchains, the fee is neither returned to a central authority or paid as a reward to validators, but it is burned, making XRP a deflationary currency/asset. Some also refer to a fee for creating accounts on the ledger, but is mistaken fees for reserves. Both fees and reserves are implemented in the ledger to protect it from spam, malicious use, and denial of service attacks. Reserves is an amount of XRP you lock in return of owning an object on the ledger. Most common reserves in the base reserve, which is the minimum XRP you have to hold in an account to be able to submit transactions to the network. The base reserve is unrecoverable as accounts cannot be deleted. Yet this functionality that is being developed, and if adopted by the network, it will make the base reserve recoverable. Other reserves are called owner reserves, and like the base reserve, is a minimum amount you have to hold in the account for every object, such as trust lines, offers on the decentralized exchange, signature lists. The owner reserves is required on top of the base reserve. At the time of writing, the base reserve is 20 XRP, and the owner reserve is 5 XRP, but these can be changed by validators by voting, and it already has been. The price of XRP increased, the initial base reserve was 200 XRP, and the owner reserves 50 XRP. It is always possible to see the remaining amount of XRP available, as it is summed and included in every closed ledger. So we could see that 20 XRP base reserve go down in the future as the price goes up. Number 9, Ripple created and is the issue of XRP. If you guys want to continue reading through this, it's pretty long. I'll leave the link in the description, but I'll just briefly go over the rest of these. So XRP number 9. Ripple only owns about 50 to 60%, and most of it is tied into escrow. They didn't issue it. It was gifted as a coin. To ensure the sustainability of the company, the founders decided to donate XRP to the company OpenCoin while also keeping a share for themselves. Company OpenCoin 80 billion, Jed McCaleb 9 billion, Chris Larsen 7 billion, other founders 4 billion. Remember that this was before the ICO, where we today see new startups raising millions of USD to support the initial development and the first years of business. Looking at the question is most often raised in debate of which XRP is a security or not. Presuming that XRP was created by Ripple, buying XRP, partaking in a never-ending coin offering, it also boils down to a question of whether XRP is even a real cryptocurrency, since it is not mineable, and hence challenges the premise that cryptocurrency should not have a central issuing or regulating authority. For the case of XRP, yes, you invest in the XRP ecosystem for the sake of speculative purchases, profit expected, as with any other speculative purchases, for the sake of utility, buying and selling XRP to pay for goods or transfer money cross-border. There is no profit expectation for XRP. XRP is not a share in Ripple, the company, and there is no paid dividends or similar words for holding the asset. Buying XRP is unrelated to Ripple. XRP is an open source decentralized ledger, and anyone can build on top of the ledger by buying XRP. Investment is made into the ecosystem of XRP. of which the Ripple is the first and the biggest player. Profit is made if the XRP ecosystem grows, and it is not from the sole effort of Ripple, but by all participants building products using the XRP ledger. Ripple, number 10, Ripple can print more XRP. Since the ledger first started in January 2013, more than 45 million ledgers have been closed successfully. The ledger was born with more than 100 billion XRP and is hard-coded into the software. There are no current methods or functionality to add XRP in the code, so for any reason new XRP should be printed, it would require a major code change and adoption on the complete network XRP validator. Since the ledger is decentralized, no single authority can decide this to do this. As with any other decentralized blockchain, so the only way to change the amount of XRP on the network, which any user can do, is by using it. Every time a transaction is made, a fee is burned, and the amount burned will never be available again. The constant burn of XRP lowers the amount available XRP in the market. At the time of writing this, the remaining total supply was 99.991 billion XRP, and over the time affect price XRP positively as the currency supply deflates while utility increases. Number 11, Ripple controls the network and who gets to validate transactions, making it a centralized and permissioned blockchain. While Ripple controls the UNL, it also is their highest interest to ensure decentralization of the network. As described, more than half of the validators on Ripple recommended UNL are operated by people or groups external to the company, and Ripple continues to add even more independent validators to the list. This further demonstrates that Ripple validators do not wield meaningful power over the XRP ledger. Of all the validators on the XRP ledger, Ripple runs only about 6%. So in an event where there is interest of the industry or community in that, the validators can agree on a separate UNL to exclude Ripple altogether. So not true. Ripple controls the market price of XRP. Ripple would have to spend fiat they would have to primarily gain. Ripple would have to spend fiat that they would primarily gain from selling XRP. To harvest gains from the pump action, they would have to sell XRP on the same market they pumped. Given the problematics of increasing price and dumping on the same market, the selling clause, and the limited access to funds by XRO, it is more likely that XRP market price is influenced by market speculation and adoption and utility products by Ripple and other companies building products in the XRP system. 13. Ripple's revenue model is XRP. If the revenue model is pumping XRP and exciting, they would first have to solve the issue of pumping and dumping on the market, which is unrealistic due to selling clauses and price manipulation problematics. So for Ripple to successfully increase the price of XRP, they would have to build products that either appear to work and sell the world a lie, or actually build products that work and let the price of XRP increase by the utility. It is a knife and edge for Ripple. The only way for Ripple to succeed by owning a large portion of XRP is by making XRP valuable in the free market without controlling it. XRP is just building a massive ecosystem so we can send information and send value like we do information. Why would banks be signing up 2 to 3 production partnerships every week? It's just a bunch of FUD to get you guys out. Number 14, Ripple pays companies to appear to have more companies. Misunderstanding is partly based on speculation that Ripple sells XRP to banks and clients with a discount To which David Schwartz has famously commented, "Why would we do that? It would just be giving away money." Starting today, Ripple will offer a unique reward for financial institutions that are the first in their markets to process and promote commercial payments for RippleNet. The reward will come in the form of rebates through the new RippleNet Accelerator program. So in part, the misunderstanding is not misunderstanding at all, but it is highlighting an incentive program to Ripple to onboard clients and grow the XRP ecosystem. Paying to promote a product is not uncommon, and especially in the cryptocurrency business, it is common practice, example, for exchanges to take listing fees. And in business elsewhere, incentive programs are common phenomenon to retain employees and customers, Ripple explains. We are borrowing a page from likes of PayPal with their early days of adoption and referral bonuses, implementing incentives to accelerate network effects on RippleNet. Since we are offering the incentives in XRP, we anticipate seeing an added benefit of building an easy on-ramp for institutions to use XRP in their payment flows to lower liquidity cost in the future. Early reception of these XRP incentives is a test phase, but has been very positive. So there you guys have it. XRP continuing to build the worldwide global ecosystem, moving value like we move information in today's age. XRP continuing to change lives, being able to send money anywhere in the world instantly without having to wait 2 to 3 days or even longer, having to pay outrageous fees. And it's just a broken system that XRP and Ripple are laying down the pipes for this ecosystem to continue to grow every day. Everyone will be using XRP. A lot of things will be running on Ripple just because it is so cheap, so efficient to use. XRP is the best, baby. I'm not a financial advisor, but you already know. XRP is the best, the fastest, most secure, most scalable, most cost-efficient, eco-friendly. Send money anywhere in the world instantly. No one can stop it, baby. Keep stuff in those bags. XRP bags. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.